let's take a look at the trades I took today. I took 2 trades. I took 1 loss and 1 win. So let's see how they played out. So we skipped a little bit ahead here. We're already 5 minutes into the trade, into the trading session. And so as we're going here, again, we have the same lines we had yesterday. The highs, again, we're looking for the highs. Looking for a mean reversion is what I'm trading here. Mean reversion, the VWAP is set correctly here. So I had zoomed out already. So we're looking for that mean reversion. What we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and go through the trade as it's progressing here. And then we'll go ahead and show you the actual chart at what I was looking at. And what I was thinking during the process here. So again, going above that last couple days high here, we're looking for longs on this. Again, reversion back up. There was news today. There was CPI news today. So there is a catalyst for price to move a little bit more aggressively today. Coming into this, I was a little worried. As the trade started, I started to go up the first couple of candles, and I kind of freaked out. Wanted to take the trade to the buy side, but I had to contain myself because I didn't want to take something that wasn't in my plan. So here we go. So still looking at the trade here, looking for potential long. Hasn't broken anything here yet. So let's go ahead and Let's go ahead and skip just a bit. Okay, so here I started to try to get into the trade. So what I was looking to do is get in as it broke up, right? So I saw something here where I put the market order to go up above this. If it didn't break above this, then it was not a good trade. But instead of me just doing a market order and getting in right there at that moment, I'm looking for it to break this structure and continue to go up. So let's see if it did that. Now, if it doesn't do that, then normally I would take this off here. I would cancel this order. As you can see in the mouse here that I have, you see this says cancel order. I was already ready to cancel it because it didn't look like it was going to come back up. And going in with 5 contracts, micro contracts, not regular size contracts. That would be way too much. And this time I started to see that it wasn't going to continue going up, so I was really considering just getting rid of the trade here. So if we go a little bit more. So as you can see, price came down, still some selling from yesterday. Nothing that indicated to me to take this trade going back to a reversion. So there I canceled the trade, nothing there. We're going to go ahead and wait here just a little bit more. And at this point, it's 6:35 almost. First 5 minutes, although it looks like a lot of candles here, it's the first 5 minutes of trading session. So there's still a lot more to wait and see what's going on here. So I started to see this starting to reverse here. So let's see if I take a trade. Nope, nothing here. Okay, so right here, at this point, it may not look like it structurally, but I did take this trade here as I did see some clusters that indicated for me to take a trade. It didn't work out. As you can see here, it's starting to get closer to my stop
Order
loss.
filled.
Took me out for a stop. Again, right below the low. Didn't work out. That's okay. So at this point, let's see. I'm down a little bit here, but it's not excessive. It's not like the other day where I was down $900. So we're still looking. We're still good. We're still in the trade. So we're looking again, another mean reversion potentially here. I'm gonna skip ahead just a bit so you guys can see that. So let's go back just 1 second here. See that initiative that got pushed up. You're gonna see a couple of things. If you're an ICT trader, you're gonna see a fair value gap being held there at that point in time. If not here, you're gonna see this breakout of the 50 EMAs that I have here. So again, I'm in. I'll see a big cluster here at this point. And so looking to put the stop below the low. Again, aiming for 500, Although I was seeing a couple of things on the liquidity map and the heat map, so I was moving this a little higher. I'm gonna move my take profit just a little bit higher, so that way we can capitalize on a little bit more of a push. And VWAP is there and it is where it should be, so that would have been still good. I would have recovered a little bit more than what I'm doing. So here, right, what you see now is it's creating an order block, or what you would consider a high volume node. So right there, that's what that would be forming at this point in time. So we're up here, we're looking to capitalize on this. So my thought right now is if it comes back and takes me out, I have to really consider whether I should take another trade or not. It hasn't been going well. The last couple days it took too many trades. So we're looking to see where it goes, but it looks like it's promising. I'm confident based off of the cluster that I saw of trades going up. So it starts going up a little further. Now I'm looking at trying to see where I can place my stop loss as I trail, because the goal is to trail here. Idea is to try to get out at VWAP, but you'll see what I do here in just a second. And again, I'll show you the chart at what I was looking at and why I took this trade here in just a moment. So I'm trying to see where I can place it. I want to try to have it go to 500 because that was my original target. Let the stop loss go at 500. If it goes up further, that's great. I'll capitalize on a little bit more. But if it doesn't, then at least I'll take what I was looking for, what I was aiming for originally. We're up $412 here at this point. And I'm really considering, because it's right next to VWAP and it's slowing down here, to take that. But then I start to hesitate here. So starting to hesitate because it's starting to come back down. I still see that there is a couple of areas where it can hold for the high volume area. So that little previous order block that we mentioned, that's a potential area where it can hold. If it does retrace, because you see nothing but green candles, in this case white candles. So I'm looking for it to come down, retrace a bit, and then continue going up. So I was gonna trail really close. I didn't do that. So I'm keeping it kind of away. Did reduce my risk here. So looking at 132.50 for risk, I do move it a little further down below the cluster that I saw. I thought that was a little bit too close, so that's what I was thinking in my head at this point. This is a little too close, so I'm gonna move it down. As you can see, it's starting to hold that right there. We'll see if it continues to hold. So here I started to think, okay, well, it shouldn't come below the cluster that I have holding. If it does come below, then it's not a good trade. If I would have gone to break even, I would have got taken out at this point in time. And maybe also thinking, well, I should have just taken the money out that I had when it hit the VWAP, right? Because that's the strategy, correct? So, I mean, something inside of me was thinking, okay, well, this still looks viable because of the cluster, because of how large it was. I'm looking to see if it continues going back up. So this is the make it or break it area right here. If it doesn't go back up here, then the trade is out, right? So again, I'm only risking 190 on this specific trade because of the cluster that's there. I'll show you where that was at. And so luckily here, you start to see it start to gain momentum. It starts to go up a little further. So back to 130. But now what I'm going to do is, okay, so as soon as it gets up, I'm really considering taking profit off as long as it reaches the VWAP again, right? So looking to see what happens when it gets near the VWAP. It needs to pass this little cluster here, this little high volume node, for me to consider a continuation to the upside. And so it doesn't want to go up, right? So we're looking at this. It should hold this here. If it doesn't hold this little area right here, then it's not a good trade. It's going to take me out, and the trade is over. So here we go. You start to see it gain momentum again right here. Looking pretty good so far. Okay, that's a pretty big candle. Gives me some hope that it's going to go up here. So just really close, paying close attention to see what happens at price here. I'm up. Unfortunately, right, you look at this and you look at the money you're up and you're doubting whether to take it out or not. But I'm trying to hold this trade as long as I can. So he starts to get to VWAP. Now here I'm starting to look and see what happens here. Do I cut? Do I stay? I start to consider trailing it back here. So I'm waiting to see what happens. See where I'm trying to measure where the 500 mark is. So it's just right above that. So I'm trying to see if it goes above 500, letting that go. Because right now I'm holding my mouse as I'm moving this over so it doesn't set it there. And potentially going here, and I'm looking, okay, well, even if it doesn't do that, I'm gonna try to put my stop to break even down below. If it stops me out, then it stops me out. There's nothing to that. But at least it's already there at VWAP, so it should continue. I want to see a strong push up. And you'll see what happens here next. So here's where I'm considering just leaving it at $20 break even. If it comes and takes me out, it takes me out. It's the second attempt at VWAP. So if it fails, then it's gonna go down. So I'm considering just letting it go right there in that little area. And why 30-40? I did see some liquidity up there at 30-40, 30-50, trying to front run that so that way it doesn't stop or stall, because people are going to front run the liquidity that's up at the top there. So I'm trying to get ahead of that. Now right here, I'm freaking out a little bit. moving this back to my original stop placement, which is at 202 below the cluster. I'm like, okay, well, if it didn't stop me out there, I don't want to get wicked out and then it goes my direction. So I moved it back to where I was. I don't move it any further than that though. I want to make sure I control my risk. So I'm not trying to increase it to 500. And then here I start to see another push up here. And all I need is that break of that high, that double top, for me to have a good trade here. So it's just teeter-tottering between that here. And as we approach the double top here, looking for that break, right? Looking for that break and continuation. So you can see it tried to go down and immediately got bought back up. And here we go. Here's this break right there. Perfect. That push, that quick push, immediately prompts me to go ahead and start trailing very aggressively. I'm up at 560. As it goes up, I'm just going to trail candle by candle. As it closes, now here I get a little anxious and sort of trail closer. 595, it's going to take me out right there. But you know what? That's good. That's a great trade. So one loss, one win, but the win outweighed the loss, right? So we controlled our risk, which is great. On both of them. I would think what I didn't do so well in this second trade was the fact that I could have taken profit the first time and taken two different trades here, and it would have worked out. However, did I stick to my plan? I would like to say yes. I trusted my plan enough for it to continue going my direction, but it could have easily gone the other way, right? So, I mean, as long as I didn't increase my risk size, then that was fine with me. So now let's go ahead and see what I was looking at here. So here are my 2 trades. Again, as I mentioned, I was looking at these clusters. Market open here. We see a lot of initiative selling at the end of yesterday's session, right? A lot of selling here. Well, I'm more so buying and selling, a little bit mixed, but in regards to the clusters, you see 2 large clusters for sellers here, and then the previous area here at the bottoms. So as market opens, you start to see it pull back down. You start to see the first trade that I took is right here. Started marking these so that way you can see a little bit better of what I was looking at. So 210, first entry, entered on this trade here at 2.23 reward here. So try to get to the VWAP. Obviously it did not work. Took me out here, but then I see 336. Now, looking at yesterday's session where it was 500 and it kept going down, it was pretty aggressive. This was a strong signal for me to get in. So I got in at this, again, put my stop below the low, and now we trail it right below this area. So from this to remove how much risk do I have here? Let's see. So 1.94, about 240 ticks to, let's see, what do I have? 124. So it's not too bad. It still outweighed my loss, which is all I needed. So here, this is the second trade I took, and this is what I took here. Came up, came down here, and then immediately pushed right back up. As you can see here, there's a small little cluster. Let me remove this so you can see, or make it smaller. It's a small little big trades here, 36. A big trade was there, so that helped me hold this a little longer. The good thing about these range charts is that they sort of move as direction goes in one way. So it needs to go up 40 ticks to make a candle, or 30 ticks, in this case 25, but it takes volume into account. So it'll go up and it'll come down, it'll go up and it'll continue. And so this is where I started trailing as it came up here. And then I got taken out. So good trade again, good trade, good risk to reward. There was a lot of volume on this trade here specifically. You see 5K, 2K, as you go into 1K here. So there's quite a lot of volume in this little section that also indicated a good trade for a mean reversion. It didn't reach the 3rd standard deviation, but it was still at the 2 standard deviation, which is still a pretty good area to take the trade. And that was my trade for the day. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you like this content. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.